There are buyers right now signing contracts on $120,000 camper vans that will be worth $85,000 by next summer, and they have absolutely no idea it's coming. If you've been watching van tours for months, saving listings, comparing specs late at night, this video is about you. The Mercedes Sprinter, the Winnebago Bolt, the Hymer B-Class. Every category, every price point, the 2026 campervan market has a trap built into it, and most buyers are walking straight in because they're optimizing for the wrong things. In the next 16 minutes, I'm going to show you the 4 forces quietly destroying new van value right now. The one take that dealers and most van channels don't want you to hear, and the exact models and price ranges where smart money is actually moving in 2026. No tours, no lifestyle content. If you're anywhere close to spending $60,000 to $150,000 on a van this year, watch this before you sign anything. The collision, the 4 forces breaking the 2026 market. To understand why 2026 is so unusual, you have to understand what this market looked like 3 years before it. From 2020 to 2022, the van life boom created demand that manufacturers physically couldn't meet. Lead times hit 18 months. Buyers paid MSRP plus markup on everything: Bolt AWDs, Airstream Interstates, Hymer B-Class models. Dealers had all the leverage. Buyers had none. Then the correction came, and it was brutal. Post-2022, inventory piled up. The used market flooded with barely used vans from people who bought the lifestyle and discovered it wasn't for them. Vans that sold at $140,000 new were sitting at $95,000 used 12 months later. But here's what nobody's talking about. The market didn't return to normal. It landed somewhere new. And right now, 4 forces are colliding at that landing point simultaneously. If you understand them, you can position yourself to win. If you don't, you're going to absorb losses that were completely avoidable. Here's the part that quietly drains your bank account before you've even walked into a showroom. The first force, platform transition. The Transit, the Sprinter, the ProMaster, all 3 are at or near a major update cycle. Ford has already telegraphed Transit changes. Mercedes is at a known evolutionary point in the Sprinter lineup. Builders on top of these platforms haven't all adapted yet. A van you buy brand new in 2026 could feel a full generation old by 2028. That hits resale hard. The second force, manufacturer allocation shifts. Several European builders, Hymer, Deathlifts, Hobby, quietly cut their US allocations after the pandemic. A lot of what you're seeing on dealer lots is old inventory or custom orders with 6+ month waits. Availability looks better than it actually is. And if you're thinking right now, this doesn't affect me, it does, because every one of these forces shows up in the price you're about to pay. The third force, interest rate arithmetic. Here's where it gets dangerous for financed buyers. When interest rates were near zero, the gap between an $80,000 van and a $120,000 van felt manageable. Financed at 7% over 12 years, that same $40,000 gap becomes nearly $65,000 in real cost. That's not the van price, that's what you're actually paying. Most buyers never run that number. The fourth force, used market stabilization. The depreciation wave of 2023 and 2024 has done its work. Well-maintained 2021 and 2022 builds have stabilized. They've absorbed their steepest hit. A brand new 2026 van still has that hit ahead of it. These 4 forces together have created a market with clear winners and clear losers. And right now, the losers are people buying new. But before we get to exactly who should buy what, I need to say something out loud that this industry doesn't want said. The hot take. The Mercedes Sprinter is a trap in 2026. I'm going to say something that's going to upset people in the comments. The Mercedes Sprinter, the van that defined premium van life in North America, that launched 1,000 YouTube channels, is a financial trap for most buyers in 2026. Here's the math dealers won't walk you through. Routine servicing outside of warranty, $1,800 to $2,500 per year for high-use owners. Proprietary diagnostic systems mean you're dealer-dependent for most electrical and transmission issues. A single AdBlue system failure, not rare, runs $3,000 to $6,000. And a new 2026 Sprinter-based Class B from a reputable builder, $115,000 to $145,000. That is serious money for a platform with known recurring costs sitting at the top of a depreciation curve. Now, here's who the Sprinter math actually works for. The full-timer. 200-plus nights per year, 5-plus years of use, someone who genuinely spreads those maintenance costs across real mileage. At that usage level, the platform justifies itself. The cost per night arithmetic changes completely. But if you're a 40 to 70 nights per year buyer, you're not buying a van, you're buying a very expensive badge. The Ford Transit platform is cheaper to build on, cheaper to maintain, more widely serviced across North America, and the 2022 to 2024 used transit-based inventory is sitting right now at price points that make the Sprinter premium look like a $25,000 vanity tax. This is where amateurs lose money, buying the badge instead of the platform utility. The pricing illusion, why good deals in 2026 are mostly fake. Let me show you something that will change how you look at every showroom number you've seen. A 2026 Corrado T-Series, solid mid-tier European motorhome, proven Fiat Ducato platform, runs 72,000 to 85,000 euros new. A 2023 used Corrado in the same spec, 52,000 to 60,000 euros. You are paying up to 33,000 euros for the privilege of being the person who discovers its first-year problems yourself. Look at what that gap actually buys in practice. A 3-year-old van from a careful single owner has already had its roof vent seals reseated, its habitation electrics calibrated, its delamination risk assessed. A certified independent habitation inspection, $300 to $500, not the dealer's walkthrough, tells you exactly what you're getting. You're buying a known quantity with the most expensive part of ownership already behind it. The 2026 new van, however, you're running quality control for the manufacturer, and they're charging you $33,000 for the owner. In the US market, this plays out harder. A 2021 or 2022 leisure travel van's Unity, one of the best-built Class B motorhomes in North America, retailed at $145,000 to $165,000 at peak. Today, excellent single-owner examples are findable at $105,000 to $120,000. Think about what that means. That van has already absorbed $40,000 to $50,000 in depreciation, money you never have to lose because someone else already lost it for you. If you're in the US and not actively looking at 2021 to 2023 used leisure travel, Pleasureway, and Airstream Class B builds right now, you're not shopping this market. You're just watching it. The real enemy, how the content machine is making you a worse buyer. Here's what no van channel with an affiliate deal is going to tell you. The people showing you vans don't make money when you make a smart decision. They make money when you stay excited. Lifestyle tours drive views. Dramatic builds drive subscribers. An honest 5-year cost of ownership breakdown, that doesn't get clicks, so you never see it. I've seen people spend $120,000 on a van and stop using it after 6 trips, not because the van was bad, because the decision was. What happens to the buyer who's done 6 months of research that was actually 6 months of aspirational content? They've absorbed 40 opinions about 40 different vans, they've convinced themselves they need features they'll use twice, and they've been emotionally primed to make a $100,000 impulse decision while feeling like it's rational. Most people don't buy the wrong van, they buy the wrong version of their life. Smart buyers do this differently. They define the actual use case first, real nights per year, genuine destinations, honest storage requirements, not the most impressive one, the correct one. A retiree couple doing 70 nights annually at established U.S. campgrounds does not need a $135,000 off-grid rig with 400 amp hours of lithium and a Victron system they'll configure once and never touch again. They need a reliable, well-maintained mid-tier van at $70,000 to $90,000 used, and the rest of that money stays in their retirement account compounding. Buy the platform first, the build second, the aesthetics never.
Vehicle case studies. What to actually buy in 2026. No padding. Here's the breakdown by buyer type. The U.S. full-timer, 150 plus nights per year. Target, used 2021 to 2023 Winnebago Bolt AWD, $92,000 to $112,000. The Bolt was overpriced at $130,000 plus new. That depreciation has already landed, which means it's no longer your problem. AWD matters for shoulder season travel and Forest Service road access. Sprinter platform, so budget the maintenance honestly. $1,500 to $2,000 per year minimum. If that number makes you uncomfortable, this van is not the right call. Who should not buy the Bolt? Urban travelers, city-basing buyers, anyone expecting to park this conveniently in dense metros. The length and platform height make city logistics a genuine operational drain that compounds over time. The U.S. part-timer, 40 to 70 nights per year. This is the category most distorted by 2026 new van pricing, and it's where the most money is quietly being wasted. For this profile, weekends, one longer annual trip, look at 2022 to 2024 used Ford Transit-based Class B builds, Thor Sequence, Coachman Beyond, or a well-specified conversion from a reputable shop. Target range, $65,000 to $80,000. A comparable new 2026 van in this category runs $85,000 to $100,000. The depreciation on a new mid-tier U.S. Class B is $15,000 to $20,000 in the first 2 years. You're not buying a van, you're buying someone else's future deal at full price. The European family buyer, summer touring, 4 to 6 weeks annually. 2024 or 2025 used Heimer B-Class or Detlefs Esprit. Fiat Ducato platform, 80,000 to 98,000 euros. Heimer builds for distance. The insulation, the habitation layout, the water system capacities are designed for multi-week touring. Widely serviced across Western and Central Europe. Predictable resale in 3 to 5 years. Who should not buy a Heimer B-Class? Anyone planning regular urban camping in Paris, Amsterdam, or London. At 7+ meters, central city campsite bays are a problem, and street parking in historic zones is simply not viable. The European part-timer, 30 to 50 nights, mixed campsite, and occasional wild camping. 2023 used Corrado T-Series or Adria Compact, 52,000 euros to 62,000 euros. Proven platforms, accessible servicing, solid resale. For this profile, buying new in 2026 is indefensible. The numbers do not support it in any direction. One warning that applies across every category and every market. Do not skip the independent pre-purchase inspection, not the dealer's walkthrough. An independent certified habitation inspector who runs moisture readings on every wall panel, tests the electrical system under load, checks the roof, the seals, the plumbing. I've spoken with buyers who found $18,000 water damage problems on vans that looked immaculate in photographs. Budget 300 euros to 500 euros in Europe, $400 to $600 in the US. This is not optional. The one mistake, what destroys most buyers in 2026? Everything I've covered, market forces, pricing illusions, the content machine problem, the right vehicles at the right prices, all of it gets overridden by one behavioral pattern: buying reactively. Under dealer pressure, under the pressure of a trip already booked, under the pressure of 6 months of van tours that have convinced you the lifestyle is waiting if you just commit. Buyers who arrive at a decision this way skip the one calculation that matters: total cost of ownership, not sticker price, the full number. Purchase price minus realistic resale in 5 years, plus estimated annual maintenance, plus financing cost. divided by projected nights of use. When buyers run this honestly, the result shocks them. A $120,000 new van used 50 nights per year, held 5 years, often $400 to $600 per night in real cost before campsite fees, fuel, or food. A $75,000 used van bought right, 60 nights per year, lower depreciation ahead, held 5 years, often under $250 on the same math. That gap, $150 to $350 per night, is the entire difference between a smart buyer and someone paying tuition on a lesson they didn't need to learn. Here is my read on 2026. No hedging. If you are not a full-time or near full-time user, not putting 150-plus nights on a van annually, buying new in 2026 is a financial mistake. You're paying a premium to absorb depreciation that the used market will deliver to you for free within 12 months. You're subsidizing someone else's future deal. The used market right now, 2021 to 2024 builds across both US and European segments, is the most rational buying window this market has seen since before the pandemic boom. The depreciation has done its work. The inventory is real. The pricing is fair. If you're waiting for 2027 convinced prices will drop further, you're probably wrong. The floor in quality used inventory is close. The buyers who move on real data in the next 6 months will look smart in 3 years. The buyers still watching van tours in 2027, waiting for perfect timing, they won't own a van, they'll just know everything about them. If you're planning to buy new in 2026, I want to hear why, because right now, that's the decision most people are going to regret. Drop your reasoning in the comments. And if you think I'm wrong about the Sprinter, show me the math that makes it work for your situation. I read every comment. I reply to the ones with real numbers.